right, so here we go. We're gonna be having game number 3 of the night. I hope you guys are having a fantastic evening to start the week here. We're gonna be going with Jefeman82 against SpaceColonizer. So still a losers bracket match, and let's see what happens here. Also a little bit of a pre-recorded match. Same issue, like there was not a good time to set things up for these two runners. So I'm happy that we can make use of the technology here to do things like this. I know it's probably not the best way to do it, but hey, sometimes life gets in the way, so it's a good way to keep the tournament moving. And we can see Heavyman here on the left side, SpaceColonizer on the right side, and we just saw the novelty here that SpaceColonizer started implementing since his last run against E.T. Goham. He's actually doing here the orb manip, and let's see if he gets it. He's gonna be having the 41 orb manip here, while Heavyman enters with the 39, but this is where things are gonna be paying off. And we recently saw 3Crypto posting a method to do it on a 39 entry into collect power-ups, and no orb. Oh, there it is. It was a late orb. Still first drop orb, but there's like a couple ways that you can get that one. It's gonna be either the late or the early orb drop. Both of those methods are gonna be first drop orb into collect power-ups. So let's see. However, Hefeman hits his orb as well, so he's gonna still be on the lead here, regardless of that manip, but still, it's definitely a pretty safe bet to do things like that, especially for a race environment. Okay, here we're gonna be going into Eat My Shrapnel. Again, like we have said before, this is kind of like a time room. You have to defeat 18 Shrapnels. They have like a time spawn. However, they're not gonna be spawning if you have 4 on the screen, so you gotta keep that count low. You don't wanna ever see more than 3 Shrapnels on the screen. And at the same time, you have to get rid of all the little foot soldiers right there, which normally it's pretty simple if you already have the orb to just control them. Focus a little bit more on the shrapnels, and you're gonna be done with the foot soldiers in time as well. That must be the last one for Heavy Man. Indeed it is, and it's a 2-minute entry. Let's have a look here against a 2:06. About a 6-second lead going into Total Carnage for Hefeman, who gets a first drop key, and SpaceColonizer loses his orb. I'm not sure what happened. I didn't see. It was potentially trying to clean up, trying to get too fancy with those rockets, trying to save ammo up, and now he pays the price for it, getting no orb replacement so far, and also getting killed. This is gonna start to hurting himself. Oh, okay, there it is. The orb drop. Damage is done. It could have been way bigger, however. So still not too bad, not too far behind. Still gonna be probably like a double-digit lead, around a 12 to 15-second lead if I had to predict something. Nice dodge right there by SpaceColonizer, who loses his orb again. A little bit loose with his movement against the foot soldiers and loses 2 orbs now. Gonna start to hurt here. I didn't see time entry for Hefeman, but I'm gonna be seeing time entry into Tank Trouble. Still not that bad of a time at 3:12. Still can do things with that time. Definitely not gonna be the time that he's gonna be happy to look at, especially considering the mistakes that he made. So it's gonna be a 3:22 going into Tank Trouble for Hefeman. We're gonna have a look here into SpaceColonizer in a moment. First drop invulnerability. And now gets a nuke. He's gonna be able to help clean up the second gunner. Still there. 3:37, so about a 15-second lead if I know how to math, which hopefully I do. A little bit harder for me to do it in English, not my main language, so I do what I can. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Some rockets here for SpaceColonizer, which if you can chain rocket after rocket after rocket after rocket, having good firing lanes and having good weapon management, that can be better than having the orb potentially. However, we see a couple deaths here. Replacement Razor Shield for SpaceCo, that's gonna help. And Efe should be almost done with the room, but that is definitely not something he's gonna be happy to see happening almost at the end of the room. No more drops now. Gotta clean up this couple of shrapnels, and there it is. 4:24 going into Mutant Man. It was a 15-second lead going into Tank Trouble. Let's see if that lead is going to be increasing or it's potentially going to be shortening a a little bit. 438, about a 1 second cut right there. First and second drop lover for Heavy Man. He's gonna be focusing on aiming those shots right below the shin of Mutant Man. That's where you do more damage. And first drop lover. Oh, but I'm not sure if SpaceCo is gonna be able to get that one right there. And nope. No lover for SpaceCo, and now there it is. Oh, but he gets vibrated as soon as he gets grenades. This is definitely not a good start for Mutant Man on SpaceColonizer side. Man not getting the best weapons, getting a few lovers, a little bit of damage right there with the invulnerability, but he gets just vibrated as soon as that invulnerability runs up, and now he's gonna be aiming those lovers. Now that's a good spreader. He's gonna be on time. Yes, he is, and Mutant lines up, and I think that's gonna be it for race number 1. I don't see how SpaceCo can get back of this one unless something just crazy happens on Hefferman's side. I think we're gonna be seeing game 1 going to the left side here. Well, wait a minute. A couple of empty drops. Rockets. Oh, now the shrapnel. Oh, no, he gets a snipe. Now, this is things that I was saying that I think still too late, though. I still think too late. Yeah, there it is. Things were kind of lining up to have a crazy comeback. They didn't end up lining up, and Hefferman is going to be taking game number 1 here. All right, so game number 1 goes to Hefferman. Gonna be getting ready here for game number 2. They both need to clean up a little bit their arena gameplay. SpaceColonizer lost a few orbs right there. And even if he's got the guarantee on the first one, you definitely don't want to see your orb going off. In tank, trouble was trouble for both of our runners. Still, Hefferman was the first one to mutate and is the first one to take the victory. So I guess game keeping things as fair as it could. Things were going a little bit crazy right at the end, but still, it's still first game for SpaceCo. It's ready here for game number 2. And these 2 runs are also pre-recorded, so I'm gonna try my best here to line them up. I have to do them a little bit live, kind of like if they were actually playing right now. I don't know what's the outcome for this one, though. I don't know, so I am up for a ride just as everybody in the chat right now. Oh, they have been a trip indeed. So many unforeseen results, to be honest. So many swings at the very last second of each run. Don't worry about SpaceColonizer's timer. A lot of runners have like global hotkeys on live split, so if they're typing in the chat or things like that, timers can start, so don't worry about that. They should be ready here shortly. All right, and here we go. We're starting here We're gonna be syncing them up here shortly. Again, like I said, game number 2 here, SpaceCo versus Jefeman. SpaceCo on the right side, Jefeman on the left side of the screen. And they're about to be performing arena number 1. And we're gonna be seeing the manip here for the orb. Pretty sure again for SpaceColonizer. Let's see if he gets it. Jefeman going for a little bit more of traditional strats, taking the middle. We saw it didn't matter that much for game number 1. However, again, if you have a little bit of sense of security on how the drops you're gonna be getting, that's definitely a pretty good thing to have. 38, that's a fire time for Jefeman going into collect power-ups. 41 for SpaceColonizer, so about a 3-second lead. So let's see what are the drops in here. We're gonna be seeing a spreader for Jefeman, and now grenade on the feed, and there it is. The first drop orb. SpaceCo just dominating this new strat. It's probably the only runner that we have seen in the tournament so far. Not only doing it, but dominating it. Everybody else still kind of going for a little bit more of a traditional approach. But I gotta expect that potentially for tournament number 9, we're gonna be seeing almost everybody trying to go for these strats, and we see it paying it off now. Having a little bit of trouble right there for Jefeman with those rockets aiming at the last few grunts, and SpaceColonizer got 4 shrapnels at once. So losing a little bit of time right there, but now getting things under control. Jefeman trying to make the best out of those rockets. Decide not to go for that nuke. Different choices everybody takes. Some people might be okay taking that little bit of a time loss in trying to fish the orb. Jefeman decides not to do so, but so far is not getting reward. It's a little bit of a coin flip, so you really don't know. And then a feed, and then another feed. Got a key before that. Gotta hurry up a little bit with those grunts. He's having control of the shrapnels, but yeah, there they are, the grunts. Losing a little bit of time right there, and time is just gonna continue to be bleeding as we see that SpaceCo had the Holy Trinity for a little bit of time. Rockets, Racer, and Orb. So sitting pretty here to continue increasing the lead into total carnage. Still no Orb in the meanwhile for Jefeman. Trying to do as much as he can with what the game is giving, but it's giving practically nothing. A key, a feed, and now shrapnel to the face. That's not what you want to see if you're Jefeman. However, if you're SpaceColonizer and then you watch the BOD, that's definitely what you want to see happening. Increasing the lead, but now we get a couple orbs, and it was a soft 3 at 259, high 259 for SpaceCo going into the bonus room. This is going to be a huge lead, and SpaceCo is on a really good time right now. Okay, now we're starting to see a little bit more of a better quality of weapons dropping for Jefeman. Still, the damage is done. It's gonna be a 322, so 23-second lead for SpaceCo into tank trouble. However, we saw tank trouble causing trouble on the last match. He's gotta be careful, gets a smart bomb to clean the room, and gets rid of the first gunner. He's gonna be taking a little bit of the corner strats for a moment, trying to get rid of that second gunner, and now he's good. He's potentially gonna be taking that smart orb. Yeah, definitely smart choice right there. Now he's gonna be having control. Let's see what Jefeman's start. Oh, there's a little bit of rocket clip that he carried from Total Carnage. Good enough to take care of the 2 gunners, and so far better start of tank trouble for Jefeman. And just as I was speaking, commentator's curse, I am sorry. He gets another shrapnel to the face, and okay, but he gets another orb. Gotta be careful now, however. That's a dangerous grab. He takes it properly, almost gets pushed to that mine, but he doesn't, and now rocket into the feed. He's sitting pretty, he's not even moving the feed. Look at that. He can just stay right there in the middle, shoot rockets in all the cardinal ways. And let's have a look here. I was not able to see SpaceColonizer's entry. I think he's got the Bullbuster. Gonna be trying to get those rockets, and nice grab, but he gets vibrated as soon as he grabs them. And this is, oh, but he gets rewarded. What a spreader that one is. Can't get much better spreaders than that one. Gets rid of 2 arms at once. just like butter and a hot knife, they just melt it. And Space Coast takes a very, very solid lead so far, but now weapons are drying out. And Jefeman keeps the DPS going now into the third phase. Oh, the first frame ball buster for Space. Oh, and misses that spreader. Oh, but then gets another spreader in a prime location. Is he gonna be able to grab it? I'm not sure. It's extremely close to the door, but that invulnerability just took way too long to disappear and take that dead. And little by little, it's just that Jefeman is not getting practically anything now. That spreader is gonna be huge. He's gonna be able to get this one. Perfect position for Mutoid, man. He doesn't get hit by that shrapnel. Those shrapnel trying to claim alive. And there it is. But final form right now for SpaceColonizer. And again, unless something goes crazy wrong, he should be able to take game 2. However, 2 invulnerabilities in a row. That's things going crazy wrong. Okay, we have a grenade, but I don't think the grenade is gonna be enough. He could potentially try to get those rockets. Decides to just continue that DPS, and let's see what's the next drop. Oh, Mutoid sitting into those grenades and not moving anywhere. There he goes. He manages to grab it. He was missing one grenade. One single grenade was he missing, but still he's going to be able to take game number 2, and he's going to be tying things up here against Jefeman. Jefeman having a little bit of a struggle on himself, but he's finally gonna be able to get rid of Mutoid, man. Not gonna be enough though, because things are tied up now, and we're gonna be moving into game number 3 with the score 1-1. I was gonna say SpaceColonizer a little bit of a technician, and Tripio with the knowledge as well to let us know about things like the first frame ball buster. That's also a setup. They go in with, I think, the orb pointing at like 2 p.m. in the afternoon if it was a clock. And from there, there's a series of movements that you're going to be able to do to get the first frame orb, something like that. Don't quote me on it. I know it exists. I don't know how it is performed, however. 11 to 12. Gotcha. Sometimes you might want to wait a little bit going into muted room, or sometimes you just get lucky and you just get it there. Got it. I mean, you still gotta have the knowledge to be able to perform it. It's not only that, like, you gotta practice that. So really good showcasing some nice little min-maxings that not everybody is currently doing, and those could potentially at some point, you know how the games keep moving forward and forward? Those type of min-maxes start playing a role when times to start getting optimized more and more and more and more. Okay, here we go. Game number 3 is on the way. Jefeman on the left side, SpaceCo on the right side. We're gonna be seeing the Orbanib once again for SpaceCo. Smart bomb on the feet. That's not what you want to see if you're Jefeman. Making a good job to dodge that. However, let's see if he doesn't lost a couple seconds maybe for that. He's gonna be able to use this one right now. Yeah, there it goes. He's gonna be taking the lead in going into the collect power-ups once again. However, this is where the strats pay off. We're gonna be seeing most likely a first drop orb. So far, SpaceCo has been incredibly consistent since he started doing this strat in the tournament, and I think he didn't got it. No, he didn't got it. So you can notice because of how many grunts appear on the right side, he just got one. You gotta see 2 or 3 on the right side, and you know who got the orb? Jefeman did got the orb. So I know potentially the orb manip gone in the grunt screen, and now Jefeman is gonna be able to take advantage, but SpaceCo gets an orb on his own as well. Oh, that was a little bit bad, and now he's a huge lead. About like 8, 9 second lead so far for Jefeman. So that's a huge lead, especially going into room number 3, which is Total Carnage. Still, however, not the end of the world. We have seen things happening in things like Total Carnage, in things like Tank Trouble, and we should be seeing just the exact same times for both of these runners going out of In My Shrapnel. Things can swing one way or the other, most likely starting Total Carnage. But let's have a look and see here if they both can control this room properly. There's gonna be a 202 right there for Jefeman. All right. And I think we have somebody else here jumping into the boot. How you doing, Tapatio?
Dino, very excited to be here. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been some wild sets today, hasn't it? Not too bad.
Indeed, wild, wild, wild. As wild as I got eliminated, I'm pretty sad about that, but I'm pretty happy to be here doing commentary and having some Smash TV going on at GG Speedruns.
Oh yeah, always great on a good old Monday. We have 4 sets here. Getting right into the third one right here, and seeing both with the Razor Shield, with the orbs, what you love to see. And nice entry for Jefeman right there into the bonus room. A low 3 minute, and yeah, 306 for SpaceCo. Very nice.
Yeah, what are your thoughts about these two runners, Tapatio?
Well, you know what? It's Jefeman, obviously, from the run last year and into this year, just in general, already kind of poised as what I feel, how a veteran would play, yet only, having a couple years maybe under their belt in this run. SpaceCo been around a little bit longer, but has really been putting in the grind, especially since this new orb manipulations come out. I've seen SpaceCo almost daily doing PB runs for that with that manip. So very impressed to see that, and I think being able to scrap with Jefeman and keep up, kind of evident of the practice that SpaceCo's been putting in.
Absolutely, I would have to agree. He's been also extremely consistent with that first drop orb. Oh, he just loses it right here, but in a race environment, if you can do that consistently, that's huge. Oh, and unfortunately, he gets a little bit of a dead here by a bat. So they would having trouble here at Tank Trouble, and just as I was saying that, Efe also takes a bat to the face right there.
Yeah, that's always, Tank Trouble. It will never not be a tough stage. I don't think anytime I've been running this game for 7 years now, and it is just it's probably my most dreaded thing. It's like if you don't get that early drop and get comfortable in that room, it is tough.
It
But
is
here we
indeed.
go. Both runners with the spreader. You love to see it.
They would get rid of the two arms, and now a little bit of a dry drop right there for SpaceCo. Rockets, not what you want to see, but hey, you're going to be keeping the damage going, and now a little bit of Lover right there. Oh, interesting that Jefe didn't go for Lover straight away. He wanted to just maximize those rockets. Normally, that's what I like about Smash TV. I like to see the different, like, tiny little strats that everybody decides to go for. Like, even, again, if you know what you're doing, there's different little decisions that end up like paying off at the end of the day, and I really like seeing those.
And sometimes it's just a matter of frames. SpaceCo actually just missing a spreader a few seconds ago, just barely missing that, getting another drop, and then got ran over because didn't have the invulnerability. It could have been a completely different style of play if not for just a frame or two, and that's the beauty of it. Oh, the Shrap gets the final form. Rockets for Jefeman, so should be able to close the gap pretty close here, but final form for SpaceCo.
Oh, I was gonna say that Jefe should be careful because he would have the continuous screen, and I think that's gonna be the final nail, and I think SpaceCo is gonna be taking game number 3 right here with those lovers.
Yeah, landing most of the shots, doing very well. luckily, yeah, you didn't get very much movement from the final form of Mutoid Man right there. And yeah, nice shots by SpaceCo, finishing that off. Sub 630, that'll do just fine in a race for you. And take game number 3 or 4 right there, I should say.
Oh, that was game number 3.
Oh, still game number. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, my mistake. Yeah, still game 3. There we go. I see that number down there.
Yeah, taking the lead. He's gonna be just one game away to continue moving forward and potentially sending Jefeman just to continue watching tournament from home.
And that's the one. And really, I gotta commend, you know, Jefeman. Obviously, was able to stay in. If I'm remembering correctly, I can't pull up challenge for some reason. I'm almost positive though. Me and SpaceCo actually faced off in the first round, and I was able to barely take that. A great series between us two. SpaceCo's been making a hell of a run on the lower bracket. So yeah, hats off, and a potential to take out Jefeman right here. Very nicely done by SpaceCo.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure if we're gonna be getting those awards at the end of the tournament, but I think SpaceCo is getting a strong contender to the longest run in the tournament.
Yeah, got to be at this point, and I gotta say, you know, with kind of the continued work with this this orb manipulation that I'm really excited about, as far as just people kind of picking it up, having that available to run for PVs. And obviously, I think it kind of shows in the races. You get that guarantee, and we have no guarantees in this game besides a razor shield at the beginning and now potentially an orb on the second screen. I think it has a huge amount of potential going forward, and they're just finding kind of three Creepio, finding those better times, those better entries into drop or power ups, collect power ups. Huge.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Especially now, like you say, like Trick finding that guaranteed sub 40 with first drop orb on collect power ups. Why wouldn't you want to go for that?
Yeah, it's kind of, you know, you still need a lot of things to go obviously your way for
Yeah.
any kind of PB to happen in this game. But just the small guarantees like that, I'd rather have runs with orbs in them than not. That's what I'm thinking on it.
Yeah. Sorry about that. We're gonna be syncing them up in a moment. Let's go
And
pretty much done with arena number 1.
And yeah, I have to say, you know, when I think you've mentioned it earlier in the in these races, great that we're able to kind of keep the tournament moving along using, you know, technology we have at hand, and you know, fortunately we have a great set of administrators as far as the community is concerned, that we're able to kind of get this to you. Have 4 races in a night. Very awesome stuff that everybody's able to come together for this.
Yeah, I would have to absolutely agree. I know, like, life comes in the way, different time zones come in the way, so too many different factors. I'm actually impressed that we were able to run all the tournaments without like bigger hiccups sometimes getting matches going, and so happy that we kind of like implemented this for this one.
You know, we were all a little bit younger. It was a little easier. We could maybe find a little bit more time. Sometimes life gets in the way a little bit more as we're getting older here. Some of us veterans.
I mean, Smash TV number 8 annual tournament, so it's been a while. I didn't join on the first one, but still, that's what, like 2016 start time, something like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, very awesome. If you haven't checked it out, it's an awesome run, as you're seeing right here, shown by 2 of our better runners. But it's one that's, I'd say, it's a really easy game to get into. Start finding some runs. You'll fall in love with it real quick if you can stand a little bit of RNG, or a lot of RNG, I should say. Then yeah, this is one to get into. But here we go. RNG working out in Jefeman's favor as well. Gets the orb as well. And both into shrapnel, kind of the ideal setup. Ooh, some extra shrapnel on the board there for Jefeman, so maybe getting away a little bit.
It's getting a little bit of a struggle to clean things up. I think he finally does it. I'm not sure if he's gonna be losing time here at the end. Still one more. I think he's shoot. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I think he's good. Oh, never mind.
Uh,
I don't know how to count.
You know, sometimes it's real deceptive. I don't even count in that room anymore. I just do it by vibes and the drops, basically. That's the only way I'm able to really keep track. Yeah, it kind of just got away a little bit for FA Man there. But here we go into Total Carnage. This is the first kind of real grinder of a stage here. See these early drops not really going Hefe Man's way, not really going Space Coast's way either, to be honest.
Yeah, so they both gotta be pretty careful with that, or because so far that's the only thing going for them. As we see a Razor Shield for Heavy Man, that's definitely gonna be helping. And he uses a little bit more of an offensive way, trying to get things clear on the middle. Just stay there, sitting pretty, and see what happened.
You got the rare freeze time power up. We don't see it too often, but here we are. Now we're all synced up right there. Rockets we see just in time on Hefe Man's screen. A nice entry, low 3 on Space Coast side, and just about a 310 on Hefe Man's side, so not too shabby.
So we haven't said this on the previous two races, I think. So should we do some product placement?
Oh yeah, we absolutely should. Oh, Taco Bell, Taco Bell. It's product placement with Taco Bell. You best believe it. Into tank trouble. Here we go with Space Co.
Or it seems my dogs want to do a little bit of commentary as well.
Get him on the mic. Everybody loves doggos. I mean, but here we go. Oh, the orb drop by SpaceCo didn't quite catch how exactly it happened. Imagine just a foot soldier got loose right there. Hefe Man gonna be sitting pretty with that razor in the center though. Still has his orb.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's gonna continue to pulling the lead here. Well, SpaceCo was to the lead, so he's gonna potentially swap that lead right here. And indeed, he's gonna be doing that.
Yeah, he was able to really just hold center no matter what right there. SpaceCo able to get an orb back, but having to kind of stick in the corner. You're able to do decently, but you're definitely not keeping that kill count like Hefe Man was. And a nice little lead. Able to get, key for first drop. So nothing on Hefe Man's side. And now the lobbers should be able to get over there. Take care of the gunners first. Smart move by Hefe Man.
Yeah, he's gonna be careful if he's gonna be trying to attempt that goal buster. I find it a little bit difficult once you don't get it at the start. Like, yeah, things like that can happen. Like, move can get pretty erratic, but it doesn't matter because look at this spreader. And Muted Mind is lining up as well.
Yeah, SpaceCo getting that first drop spreader was able to take advantage of that immediately, but not too far away as Hefe Man. And there's the invulnerability, going to be using the entirety of this ammo as just running right into Mutoid Man. That's a lot of damage.
Oh, and another spreader. Oh. Is it going to get blocked?
SpaceCo he has the invulnerability, but then he tries to cut the corner. He had it. He had 4 bars of ammo. He had a line right there and just takes the death. Gotta be kicking yourself after that one. That might be the game.
Yeah, probably it is. I mean, even if Heavy Man lost that spreader, it's not that big of a deal because he's still in the lead. And oh, that was a little bit of elated. He could have almost got some godly transfer damage. It doesn't matter. He still has a crazy good lead right now. And I think we're going to be seeing game number 5.
Yeah, just barely missed that right as it was turning over to the last form. See him in the camp shaking his head a little bit. Let's see what he does right here. These shots, yeah, he's running around on him. All of a sudden, Space goes within a form. Empty drop for Hefe Man's side. If he doesn't get something right here. Does get the lobbers, though, and is able to finish it up. There you go. If it was another empty drop or two, this could have been very interesting.
Yeah, and I don't know. We have seen crazy stuff happening on Muted Man tonight. We usually see crazy stuff on Muted Man, but tonight, holy bonkers.
Yeah, when half-minute leads don't apply, sometimes it's it's pretty wild. We've had some wild ones, and that's the way it can go. It's really half-minute. That's like what? Just a few drops going one way and the other way. Someone's getting spreaders on one side, you're getting feet, invulnerabilities on the other side. It starts to really eat at your time.
Yeah. Well, however, here we are tied up for game number 5 now. Whoever takes this moves forward. Whoever loses this, that's gonna be it for the tournament live.
Yeah, I mean, we're at that point. We're gonna have these quality of players. We've seen them match up time and time again. By this stage, even the round before in bracket, just some great matchups. I mean, I said in chat earlier while I was while I was on call for work, and don't tell my boss, but I mean, it's phenomenal how many sets have gone to game 5 between just absolute quality runners, back and forths too, people being up 3 games or 2 games potentially, and the reverse sweeps. We've had the back and forth. No lead is safe. I've seen it a couple times myself. I think, yeah, in my annual matchup against Joey Mittens, another great game 5 set. We've had a lot of them, and here we go again.
Oh yeah, it just goes to show how close all the competition is right now. And well, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure what's gonna happen here. Have a look here between Jefeman on the left side, SpaceColonizer on the right side. We should get going here on Jefeman's side here pretty shortly, I'm pretty sure. Well, we see Arena 1 again for SpaceColonizer. He's going to be attempting that or manipulation once again. And yeah, there's it might not look like much, but there's a lot of things going on right now, like as to which grunts he has to kill, which side. Oh, and he forgot. He probably did something wrong. I'm still not very familiar, so I'm not sure what would have gone wrong. But if he forgot that top part, it was because something went wrong.
Yeah, and it's seemingly like there's frame windows and like but it's really like you're doing fire length. It doesn't look like a natural Arena 1. I've told 3Creepio and Spaceco that when they had popped in my stream not too long ago. It doesn't look like a natural Arena 1, so it just kind of looks awkward almost off the bat. And yeah, we'll see how the drop shakes out here for Spaceco. Hefe Man, not a bad room at all. That's going to be a nice little 39 entry.
Yeah, right now that you were saying that, the first time I saw the strat, it was between Spaceco against Itico Ham. And I was like, Spaceco is taking some very weird decisions on the way he's playing. Like, what's going on? And then Orb, and I was like, wait a minute, something weird is happening here. Because those were some strange decisions, and then first drop Orb, like, there's stuff that we didn't know. And yeah, back then, we didn't know yet. But so far, no Orb for either side.
Yeah, so the manipulation not shaking out right there, and now just getting paid off with shoes is Spaceco. So this is kind of more typical of what I'm used to seeing in this first arena. Where are the drops? Ow, and then the nuke on the feet. That's not what you want to see right there. That's going to take a couple seconds from you right there. And the grenades, yeah, just not shaking out right here. Those early drops, but for neither runner. And Hefe Man having 2 shrapnel at the end having to deal with. 134, he can't be happy with that one.
Yeah, he can't be happy for what that one. Like, I wonder if they're watching the research. Oh, never mind. The temporary record. That what am I even saying? But still, like, they're probably both happy of what happened on the other side of the screen because they both had not the best collect power ups. Now let's see. We got Jefeman with an orb and a rocket. He should be good to go with this room now. And now an orb for SpaceColonizer as well.
Yeah, evens it out right there. The orb will get you back. Ooh, the purple shirt got a little close right there. I think now we'll be able to kind of catch back up is Spaceco, but that was almost a lost orb right there. Hefe Man, rockets with the orb. You're easy living.
Yeah, 223 going into total cartage for SpaceColonizer is definitely not the best time. However, he's not that far behind, just about like 4 or 5 seconds from Jefeman. So let's see what happens here. Pretty good start for Jefeman, and now rockets for SpaceColonizer.
Yeah, one of those tough drops way in the corner gets rewarded with a great drop, having it on the top of the octagon. That's right there. Is that hexagon? Octagon. Octagon. There we go. But yeah, the drop's not really shaking out on Hefe Man's side. Oh, there we go. As I say it, rockets.
Very tough grab right there. Jefeman taking a little bit of patience right there to be able to grab those rockets. And now he's going to be cleaning up that last section of the room. This spreader should be good. And trying to save a little bit for starting tank trouble. And indeed, he saves about 1/6 of a clip.
Yeah, I mean, not gonna ever kill a gunner with only one, but you know what? Maybe just thinking about clearing out some of those early foot soldiers, kind of giving yourself a little bit more space to take out the gunners with the orb pea shooter. So we'll see here.
Yeah, definitely. Or maybe just move the shrapnel on top a little bit if it's on the way. Well, let's see what the decision is right here with a little bit of a clip left, and he's gonna be shooting. Yeah, it pretty much didn't matter, but he gets a first drop bomb, and he's gonna be good enough to clear both gunners. That's a decent start, and also kind of like a standard start. Like, I see that first drop bomb pretty often.
Yeah, it's a nice little breather in a room where you really don't get too many breathers. You start out and you just clear out all those initial foot soldiers, the early shrapnel. Kind of nice to get that out of the way for sure.
And now doing a good job to keep the middle. SpaceColonizer also getting rid of the two gunners. Having a little bit more of a struggle to get in the middle, but there he is. A nice bomb on the feet to be able to clean things up. And whoa, oh,
Oh no, yeah, Space Co going down right there. That's bro one. Won't be able to get that invulnerability either, so it'll just be the one out of the door. Jefeman, not too bad. Was able to clean up pretty nicely. Not the greatest time out of there, but a little bit of a lead for sure.
a little bit, probably about like 10 to 12 seconds there. Let's see the orb. Ball buster attempt, doesn't get it, and then he gets run over to get rewarded with a feat.
Gunner actually with that that covering fire right there actually kind of got the way of the good line. I think Jefeman would have had that if it was a clean firing lane or a run-in lane, but not so much. Rockets and grenades on Space Coast side. Jefeman doing some damage with the lobbers, but yeah, who's gonna get this arm pop? They're right there with each other.
Oh, but now amazing location for a spreader. Mutant Man a little bit far away. Still gonna be able to get some good damage going on right now. Potentially gonna be foregoing. Oh, I thought he was gonna go for that lover. And now spreader opportunity for SpaceColonizer.
Yeah, and good timing when took that death, was able to easily get that. Not the greatest position. Gets underneath though. That's that big damage. Does take a death there, so won't be able to get these lobbers. But you see that that glitch droid. They are neck and neck now. Spreader for Jefeman, but not really getting in. Maybe one or two. Not really getting that that manual damage.
And SpaceCo is now on the lead.
Yeah, very. I mean, getting underneath right there, it's big damage, and I think he got underneath for quite a while. That death, he will get this if no block. Oh wow, and he opens it up. This is Space Coast to lose now.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be the last nail in the coffin. He's gonna be moving forward, defeating Jefeman 3-2.
Wow, well done. Didn't get that early orb manip like he's been working on. Didn't matter. The some nice spreader drop usage right there from SpaceCo. Got into some good places, took some good deaths, and got that damage in. Takes it 3-2. Another phenomenal 5-game set, and well done to Jefeman. We'll see what the final time is here, but another great run the tourney. One of our top runners. Shame that we won't see any more sets in this tournament from him, but that's the way it goes.
That's right, and we're gonna be having still one more match. It's gonna be J-Pop for life against Itiko Ham. So don't go anywhere because we're gonna be having more Smash TV action here shortly on G.